right, y'all. We taking the version from my normal process. We're going back to the roots. We're going back to the roots of this channel. When I first started doing this channel, it was a lot of M. It was a lot of Crook. It was a lot of Joel. It's a lot of it. And now we back, man. You see Crook's name, you just click on it. You know it's gonna be fire. Shout out to Crook, man. We're gonna check out him and Dan the Underdog for the kids. I don't even know where we're going with this song. I have not heard it, but I saw it one day online. I said when I get back in the lab, I gotta react to this song. So I'm not apologizing to any of y'all. Y'all have to just bear with it if y'all don't like Crook. You're gonna like Crook anyway, but again, this is a different diversion from what I normally do. So shout out to all my heads who were here for me when I was doing Crook. We're gonna get back to some more of that. So let's check it out for the kids.
It's what you're leaving for the kids, huh? This what you're leaving for the kids, huh? They don't care about what the songs say or what's in the food they eat. Volcanoes about to blow like Pompeii, but the Escalades on need. Let's fill her up like fuck what Gore say. That ain't gonna affect me, but man, that tsunami is foreplay for what we about to see. The water's rising, something crazy. We look the other way until the waves are at our window. Now where the fuck you gonna stay? The north is melting down to nothing. The south is doing the same. The weather pattern's steady changing, getting weirder every day. We got weapons that can turn entire countries into pulp. Gamma radiation ain't gonna turn you into Hulk. A superhero with a tumor doesn't really look that super. They feeding us these phones and cancer still ain't got a cure. They gon' keep running these pipelines till the spring's no longer pure. The middle class is getting poorer. What's gonna happen to the poor? Y'all too busy waging war to worry about my cry for help. See, the earth will just rebuild, so we just wiping out ourselves.
Stop. Son, Dan Underdog, bro. Let's talk about these bars real quick. I'm going to elaborate on some of these. We have natural disasters and natural distractions, right? Sometimes these distractions come along to distract you from the thing that's happening in the world. Our bandwidth is not that big. You think you can multitask and look at videos and do your work and do all these things. Your brain can only hold so much information. And that's why these things happen. Some of these things happen on purpose. It could be, again, to get away from the political side of it. But you know, when things are happening, you can talk about something else to distract you from the real issues that is happening. You do this in your personal life sometimes too. When you don't want to talk about a subject with your significant other, you distract them with something else to get them to forget about the original reason why you begin to talk. I'm just saying it happens in all ways of life. But again, I love it. You don't even care about what the song says, right? And I think that's another reason that when I do reaction, I try to be careful on what I do, because I do have younger nephews and nieces who watch me, and I don't curse. I don't encourage it. I think sometimes it's I won't say a lack of vocabulary, but it's a lack of attention to detail. But anyway, you can say so many words without saying the curse words. I'm just saying. But anyway, I digress. I like it. Again, he talks about don't care about what the songs say. What are you feeding in your body, or what's in the food they eat? They don't care about that. So you see the theme in the song about it talks about these things, talking about volcanoes about to blow like Pompeii, volcanoes about to erupt, your Escalades on E, fill up, F what Gore says. I guess talking about Vice President Gore, I guess. This ain't gonna affect me. But man, with the tsunami is foreplay. All these things are happening. The environment is changing, global warming, and people don't care about these things because we continue to pollute the environment or disregard the environment. I love all these things. Talking about the north is melting down, the south is doing the same. Weather patterns are changing crazy, getting weirder every day. We got weapons that turn entire countries to pulp. We got that kind of weapon that can turn a country into pulp. That is crazy. And then I love how he says that, because of course that kind of bomb is a nuclear bomb, and it goes into gamma radiation, ain't going to turn you into a Hulk. Of course, it keeps going down and says a superhero with a tumor doesn't really look that super. Feeding us off these phones and cancer still ain't going to get a cure, of course. Now he's going into the Hulk is a superhero with a tumor that doesn't look that super, but also you with the gamma radiation, what they say cell phones can also use some kind of radiation and cancer in some different people. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm not gonna spread that, but I'm just saying they feed us with these phones and cancer still ain't got no cure. They feed us with the phones and now we are addicted to our phones. They keep feeding us the information on our phones. We can't get away from it. But we can talk across the world on a phone to somebody in another state, another country, but we still ain't got no cure for cancer, really. Anyway, I love that, man. Gotta keep these pipelines till the spring, got no pure. Okay, we talking about oil again. Again, the links. Then he says the middle class is getting poor. What's gonna happen to the poor? What's gonna happen to the people that are working when all these things are happening to hurt the middle class? Too busy waging war to even worry about me crying. Worried about the people that need the help. We worried about war. Again, distracted from the real issue. We so far away from seeing what's happening at the bottom levels of society. We worried about million dollar rich problems, right? Worrying about the poor problem. We worry about the rich problem. Then he says, "See, the earth will just rebuild. We're just wiping out ourselves." Facts. I love it. Crook, man, that was hard, bro. Let's go. Let's check out Crook now. That Dan, the Underdog, that was fire, bro. Let's check out Crook.
Try for help. See, the earth will just rebuild, so we just wiping out ourselves.
Opioid epidemic started up by Big Pharma, that was cynical. Giving everybody higher doses, but the diagnosis wasn't clinical. Quite explosive when you're looking back. Keep them high and homeless, no more cooking crack. They provided doses, then they took it back. Now you gotta buy it from the criminals. Real ingredients, pill ingredients ain't the only thing with chemicals. Billy Gates drugs infiltrate your dinner plate like you imbeciles. All you wanted was a burger or two, never knowing what preservatives do. If it's super processed, it's murdering you. Fast food count residuals. Propaganda with subliminals, really though. Different genders with identical genitals. Who am I to try to limit your physical? Suicide, men and women are miserable. People turn to religion, get spiritual, but like a partition, it's divisional. Love is a hard mission, it's invisible. Government's dark system feel invisible. Praying so hard, God sends a miracle. Bringing the light out the darkness is biblical. Rappers are prophets, start getting lyrical. Stabbing your pen in the heart of imperials. One world, new order coming when the money is digital. Look at what we leaving for the kids, man, the future look pitiful.
This what y'all leaving for the kids, huh?
Bro, this song is deep. I'm sorry, bro. I can spend an hour breaking down these things, but I ain't got that kind of time. But we're going to touch Crook bars again real quick. Opioid epidemic started up by Big Pharma. That was cynical. Giving everybody higher doses, but the diagnosis wasn't clinical. Facts. Higher doses. How many of these people or doctors or people overprescribe these kids these medicines? And it's all a money-making scheme, right? I can give you some personal experience, but I'm going to say that for another time, another day. Keeping them high and homeless, no more cooking crack. They just provided doses that then they took it back. Wow. They said, now you got to buy it from the criminals. You can look at that both ways. You got to buy the drugs black market, or you got to buy it from the companies that are criminals. Either way it goes, there's a lot of chemicals in this gang, got their hands in the pot. Real egregious pill ingredients. Ain't nothing on these chemicals. Billy Gates drug infiltrate your dinner plate like you imbeciles. Ugh. Now he talks about infiltrating your dinner plate. Now you're going to burgers and food and preservatives and all these other foods, processed foods that make you sick, make you gain weight. Oh my God, we can go on and on about, now you're talking about different genders with identical genitals. Who am I to limit your physical? That's another subject for another day as well, Crook. He said people turn to religion and get spiritual like a partition is divisional. Because the religion is definitely divisional, right? We got so many different religions, so many different races, and so many different kind of churches. That's the most divided time in the country, right? Is on Sunday. Let's just say it. Praying so hard God sends a miracle, bringing the light out of the darkness is biblical. We got biblical. Crook is back. Rappers or prophets just starting to get lyrical, stabbing your pen in the heart of the Imperials. Then, like the last bar said, look what we're leaving for the kids, man. The future looks pitiful. What's going to be left? Because if you don't have a home now, it's going to be hard to get home ownership, right? Because it's going to be harder and harder. You got people who are that are from other countries that came here legally or illegally, looking over their shoulders every 5 minutes. It's just a lot going on in the world right now. It's just, it's sad. We need a miracle for sure.
This what y'all leaving for the kids, huh? An uninhabitable ball of shit, huh? One that they can't afford to live, huh? This what y'all leaving for the kids, huh? This what y'all leaving for the kids, huh? A barren wasteland like Maryland, I know when I tell the truth it sting, huh?
When bullets rain like Chirac, kids watch it all on they iPad. Anxiety up to a high degree, cause any given time they could get fired at. In they science class or just buying snacks, they like Iron Man with that Iron Man. Once they snap, they ain't coming back, and no one coming out of this alive, man. The life we live is what the kids inherit, living check to check with a ninja spirit. No hope to buy, so you stick with renting. Under billionaires that won't live to spend it.
Hold on. I have not heard this song, bro. Didn't I just mention this? This is crazy. This is crazy. I love it. We on the same wavelength, bro. I'm sorry. I just heard it. I had to stop.
Check with a ninja spirit, no hope to buy, so you stick with renting. Under billionaires that won't live to spend it. Inflation surges, we just live on credit. Live in debt, avoid debt collectors. Interest rises like ocean tides. Stay woke at night, those cause you in bed and restless. Insomnia, they got a pill for that. Another pill if you can't sit still in class. Pumping the kids full of Ritalin, make them dependent on medicines, it's legal crack. Things look bleak in the hell we living in. Even worse if you Palestinian bombing mom and kids on the Gaza Strip. And we funding all of this with the tax we giving them. Look at the state of our politics. TV personalities put in prominence. I am not voting with confidence. The leaders we follow completely incompetent. This world a cesspool, I swear to God I miss. I still believe in my core, I'm an optimist. No child left behind, I am not Spartacus. But think what we leaving behind and look ominous.
This what y'all leaving for the kids, huh?
Wow, a lot of stuff to talk about this, and I don't have a lot of time left in here, y'all. But I'm gonna talk about this real quick. Again, we got school shootings happening still. They get fired at the science class or buying things. They feel like Iron Man with the Iron Man. Crazy. Talked about living check to check with an injured spirit, no hope to buy, so they stick to rent. And I just mentioned that a minute ago about home ownership and interest. He said living on credit, living in debt. I mean, it's kind of like the gift that never stops giving when you buy something like that. We talked about pills earlier. Talking about insomnia pill for that, a pill to help you sit in class, Ritalin, making them dependent on medicines, legal crack. Again, talked about what Crook kind of alluded to off of criminals, right? It's crazy because, I mean, sometimes then the withdrawal symptoms for some of these drugs are even worse. Even like Benadryl and any kind of allergy medicine, when you, not say Benadryl, but any kind of allergy medicine you take withdraw from that stuff and see when you start itching within 48 hours or so. I'm just saying, the Palestinian thing has been highly talked about. State of our politics been highly talked about as well. No child left behind, of course, you know what that was. No kid left behind in school. It's a lot, man. It's a lot.
This what y'all leaving for the kids, huh? An uninhabitable ball of shit, huh? One that they can't afford to live, huh? This what y'all leaving for the kids, huh? This what y'all leaving for the kids, huh? A barren wasteland like Maryland, I know when I tell the truth it sting, huh?
For the kids, what a powerful song, what a powerful message, man. You gotta sit down with your kids and with your family, man. Sometimes sit down with yourself and talk about what can you do to make things better personally for you and for your kids and for the world you're surrounding. Sometimes it takes a bunch of us to get together to make these kind of things happen. We can release songs, we can release videos, we can do all these things, but is it reaching the right audience and the right people to make change happen? And sometimes you got to get back on your knees, man, and pray. I think things are going to get better eventually for us. I just think sometimes we just got to sit down and self-reflect and talk about what we can do. You start with on yourself first. Working on yourself. All right, man. For the kids. Powerful song, man. Shout out Dan the Underdog and Crook, man. Thanks for watching Final Law vs. Subscribe. Hit the like button. Peace.
Just like music.